Alright, so for today's lesson, we're going to look at finding the percent of change. In other words, how much percent did something change when it goes to an original value, such as $25, to a new value. Say there was a price increase, now the new value is $28. Well, in order to find that percent of change, we want to know how much it increased or decreased. We see that it obviously increased, so what we're going to have here is a percent of increase. Now what I would recommend doing is taking your new value, 28, dividing it by your old value, 25, and you're going to get a number that is 1.12. Now recall that the number 1 equals 100%. So 1.12 is going to equal 112%. So if I went from 100% up to 112%, that means I increased 12%. I have a percent of increase of 12%. And that would be my final answer for that problem. Let's say that we have something that was originally, maybe we had originally 30 kids in our group, but now we only have 12. First I have to decide, is that a percent of increase or a percent of decrease? We went from 30 down to 12. We lost 18 kids, so that's obviously a percent of decrease. But how much? Well, let's take 12 divided by 30. We get 0.4, which is 40%. We went from 100% down to 40%. That means I had a percent decrease of 100 minus 40, or 60%. So my answer would be a percent of decrease of 60%. Alright, so NFL fields are 100 yards, or 120 yards long if you count the end zone. 100 yards plus the two 10-yard end zones. The Canadian Football League has a field that is 25% longer than an NFL field. So how long is a CFL field? Well, in order to do that, we know that it's 25% longer. So it's going to be 100% plus 25%. Meaning it's going to be 125% of the 125% of the NFL field. So what we'll do is we'll take 120 times 125%, which is the same as 1.25, and we're going to find that that length is 150 yards for the Canadian field. Notice we took the original and multiplied it by the percent. So let's say I have a ticket that costs $45, and the sales tax on that is 6.25%. Now, obviously, that's going to increase my price, as tax always does. So I'm going to have 45, which is 100%, plus 6.25%, which is going to give me 106.25%. Now, remember, 106.25% is the same as 1.0625. So what I'll do is I'll take 45 times 1.0625 to find my total final price. And when I multiply those out, I find that it should equal $47.81 if I round up. So 47.81. Now let's say on the other hand I have a sweater that costs $38 and it's discounted at 35% off. Now in this case I have my $38, which is 100%, and I'm taking off 35%. So in this case I'm going to be paying 65% of the original price. Remember, 65% is the same as 0.65. So I'll take my original price, 38, multiply it by 0.65, and I'm going to get a final answer of $24.70. So my final price I'll be paying for that is $24.70. And that is how you do problems involving percent of change, both percent of increase and percent of decrease.